Everyone. New little intro there. I made a few edits, Craig, with the new GT logo. So hopefully people vibe with that.
Yeah, man.
I don't
Yeah,
know what you think of the edits, mate.
yeah. I like them. I like. Was that 90 seconds that time?
Yeah. I remembered I changed it too because I quickly looked. I was like, oh shit, we're already at like the
Yeah, I
two
know. I was in
countdown.
another tab and I heard it change. I was like, shit.
And I
All
was
right.
like, oh no. I was like setting up my abstract stream and everything. I was like, oh my God. I still hate that I have to do that every time just quietly.
Yeah, I know. And you got to. And I always find when you first hit stream on abstract, it takes like.
Yeah. You have to wait
I don't know if it's
20 seconds.
happening, so I've got to keep hitting refresh. Anyway, we're on. We're live. GM, everyone. Hopefully, everyone's enjoying the
Dumbola.
discounts. The Boxing Day sale,
The boxing task.
the fire
I mean,
sale. Trump has gifted us with.
I agree. I mean, I've been buying a shit ton on spot, which I want to talk about, Craig. So, GM to everyone. Hope everyone is enjoying their weekend. If you're over the other side of the world, it's a Monday morning here for us. So we're waking up. It's sunny where I am, which is good. But I have heard it's a bit cold and rainy elsewhere. Yeah, Craig. I hope you had a good weekend, mate. Did you click buy a few times over the weekend? Talk to all of us about what's your strategy right now. Have you been clicking buy across? And tell us specifically what have you been interested in?
I bought. Excuse me. I bought some Bitcoin yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
What was that at? No, it was last night. Just before I saw the dip last night. What was it, about 99?
Yeah. Oh, so it hit 99. I went to bed at it was 102 still when I went to bed, and I think that was like 10-ish. So it must have dumped like just after that, I'm gonna say.
Yeah, so just that, and then I was waiting for an entry on Pingu. So I'm still waiting for that to break down a bit low. I'm actually glad I waited. I almost bought it yesterday.
Yeah.
But obviously I followed the fib levels and it said just wait. So I did, and lo and behold, it broke down even further. So I'm glad I didn't hit buy. But if I did hit buy on it, it's all good. I was going to DCA in anyway. So the point is, like, for people that buy in and they're like, oh my God, it's going lower. It's just, as long as it's part of your plan and you scale in slowly, it's part of the process. Like, you're not meant to buy. Well, it'll be lovely if you did just buy and it just went up, but unfortunately, in these sorts of times, if you, without trying to time the bottom, you're going to have to just be okay with not getting the bottom. Just knowing on the longer term time frame, you'll hopefully be okay.
Yeah. Well said. I mean, I've just sent through a couple of longs, and I think there's some good opportunities right here. I've got too many tabs open. There's so many opportunities right now. This is what I mean. Like, so many people do the wrong thing, Craig. They buy green, they buy the FOMO pump, and then they sell during the red. And I'm like, no, bro, you literally do the opposite. Do the opposite. So I like that you held off on Pengu. We can have a look at some charts, guys, because I'm currently like looking to play some trades right now. Now, unfortunately, didn't get to time the absolute bottom, but hey, no one ever does. If you had limit orders at certain fibs, you probably could have timed them. Like looking at the Dogecoin chart right now, that hit an 886 swing fib. I know FWOG hit a swing fib. I need to remember. I'm going to actually open a little bit more on that trade because I forgot I had it. I was like, oh yeah, I'll open this trade, but it's only at 2x leverage, so I can actually go to town on that. So I will. I'll just quickly do that behind the scenes. But what levels? So you bought BTC, you bought a bit of Pengu, or you're not buying. You haven't bought Pengu yet. You think it goes lower. So what's your consensus here then? Like, do we relief rally a little bit? Do we like what's your take on all of this? Like, I mean, we're like, we're so far away from this. Like, we're very isolated here in Australia compared to the rest of the world, let's say. What's your interpretation of what this is going to affect the rest of the market moving forward? Like, what do you generally think is going to happen here for crypto?
Yeah, I think ultimately it's not going to mean anything. I think this is just a little road bump on the way to a destination that's going to be we're going to get to regardless of what happens in between. So I think it's important just to decide what your strategy is and decide. Well, probably check levels, man. Charts are pretty useful in times like this. Because if you don't use charts at the moment, you're just going to go by probably feelings. And obviously with the news, if you watch the news at the moment, you probably feel pretty, pretty despondent or down, or, obviously that's their job, is to create an emotion in you. So yeah, it is tricky. What do I think is going to happen though? I was waiting. We've kind of been, you and me have been waiting for a dip for a while, man. So I was waiting. For me, what was more interesting to see what would be the reason served up for the dip. And I think this is obviously, well, it looks like this is going to be the little reason for our dip now. So I think we're going to probably, I think we still go lower.
Yes, I agree with that take. I think we're not out of the blue here. I think we grind here for a little bit. Maybe we rally. Like I know Hyperliquid, for example, is up 12% from its bounce already. So there will be exceptions, but I'm in that camp, Craig. Why do you think we go lower for the people watching?
Let me just bring up my chart. Mainly because, where's Bitcoin? God. Just the position on the chart, man, mainly. So I'm just trying to...
You're right, man. No trouble. So we do stuff like that. Hey, this is organic. Hey, this is not...
there's no pre-planning here.
This is on the spot.
Just mainly because from the swing high to the swing low, it looks like we've broken below the 236. So I'm kind of waiting just to come lower, to the 382 or the 50. So look, it could actually to be honest, it could recover from here and we could bounce out of here. I don't know, man. I don't know. It's it's kind of a gut feeling as well, but I don't want to say that on the channel. That doesn't help anyone. My gut feeling doesn't mean shit to anybody else. It's just going by fibs, bro. It's broken below what I think is the 236, and I think it's might have trouble getting above for a bit. I think, me personally, I still think we go around that 93 mark. That's what I think we go to. So not a lot of reasoning behind that apart from just the chart, bro. And I don't think the damage is done, but I don't have a lot of rhyme or reason for that.
Seen some interesting takes about TA recently. Again, one of the most how can I pitch this? Most viral InfoFi creators, ISO Beast, come out and said, "Oh, all you TA bros, how did you there's no way War would have you can't predict it with your lines on a chart and War dumping it." And I actually commented, I literally said, bro,
we did.
We will more specifically, BTC rejected 110 right here. It rejected 110 on the weekly. It never closed the level. So if you were short from 110, you actually caught the move before War even was a conversation 3 weeks ago. And War just adds volume to it, right? There's always news that comes after the fact, and often that news just adds volume to the move, right? So I completely think that that's sort of bullshit, to be honest. So I actually really hate people that go out and do that. I know engagement is a lot of pressing buttons and whatnot, but it's just people like that, it annoys me. Don't talk shit when you clearly are wrong, mate. You're clearly wrong. So anyways, I agree with you, Craig. Momentum here is still very overextended. This is this is on the weekly chart, so we have a lot of room to go to the downside. The bottom was around March April, the start of April, when we went down to 74k, really nice rally, but we're up in the charted territory again, Craig, where we had our last top previously. So I agree. I think I've been buying a decent chunk of BTC, been buying a bit of hype. I bought FARTCOIN, I bought SPX and a couple others, a little bit of Sui and MOG, but to be honest, I'm not going too hard. I still have liquid cash there. I'm happy to buy lower. And as you said, this is a downtrend now. We rejected from this level on several time frames. So that's why TA works, friends. Lower high here, rejection off this high, easy short, stop loss above here. Now, I agree. We have hit the 382 or just nearly hit the 382 from the swing. But I think I still think the big level for me is 93. I still think that's the mid-range, right, of this whole range here that we're forming. And we've been talking about for a while, if you think about time in cryptocurrency, a lot of moves do take time to play out. And so BTC might not necessarily get there very quickly, which to a lot of people's dismay, they would rather it get there quickly, right? They'd rather just dump us to 74k again and we'll click buy and then pump again. It's bro, it's not easy, okay? And that's why we're here to help you guys sort of understand that these markets are tough, and that's why we're here every day to sort of educate you that you do have to stay patient. I know, I saw a 5% dip or a 3% dip last week and the week before, and people Greeny, do I click buy? I said, look, you can click buy a little bit, but I personally my preference is lower. And sure enough, we have gone lower. And sure enough, I still think we go lower personally, or we at least crab sideways. So I still think this 93 to 97 region is where we are heading on BTC specifically. If the war does pick up a little bit, a little bit more steam if we do start to see, say, that strait over in between Dubai and Oman and all those countries, like if that does close, then yes, the oil, like that will be more of a black swan event that doesn't really happen. And usually people, it's so dumb, but usually people go, I just need to sell my assets right now. I need money. And it's just so bizarre. But anyways, people nuke the markets. I'll be buying because I know I'll be buying pretty, like, it's hard not to buy BTC at this specifically, Craig. Like I had a buy order at 99K overnight. I've got a buy order at 97, buy order at 93, buy order at 88. Like if they hit, sick. I'm happy to hold this for the next 5 to 10 years, easy. And I'd gladly nearly over allocate to Bitcoin and forego a house because I genuinely think Bitcoin's going to outperform a house in the next 5 to 10 years. What are your thoughts on that topic?
Yeah, I think so too. I think Bitcoin will outpace the housing market. I mean, it has up till now. I think in Bitcoin's entire life, it's done that, hasn't it?
Yeah, I think it has. Yeah. We spoke about this with Pio. Yeah, we did. Yeah.
So I don't think the housing market's ever outperformed Bitcoin since Bitcoin's inception, which is fucking incredible, man. Yeah. Like, how's that for a new asset class? Mm-hmm. Crushing the prior best asset class. Yeah. So, yeah, personally, I'm the same as you. I think buys down lower will bode well. If I'm wrong and that is the cycle top, worst case, like we've said before, we hold it a couple of years, maybe 2-3 years, worst case. Yeah. But I don't think that's a big factor yet. I think we've got a long way to go.
We could go all the way to 74K and I'd still be okay.
Don't freak out, everyone who just heard what I said. We've got like tons of levels to go. There'll be tons of exits to go before then anyway.
We could go, Craig. We could go all the way to 48K, 46K, and I'd be okay.
That would be terrifying, right?
Yeah.
Fuck. Imagine altcoins. Fuck.
Yeah, exactly. But that's the okay. And like I know I've been buying a lot of hype. I actually nearly have as much hype as I do BTC at the point. But there's a reason for it, right? Like if hype can't hold that level, right? So if hype does break below 30 again, I'm happy to take this sort of I'm happy to take the trade here with the risk, if that makes sense. I'm happy to hold it with this strength here, with this bounce off this region here, off the 382, which shows a lot of strength, just mind you. But if we do capitulate, this is an area that I would de-risk. I'd probably sell 50% here and then look to rebuy the lower fibs as well if we do get down there. So you need to be active, particularly with the altcoin bags. Like BTC for me, I don't think goes away. Like it's a no-brainer. Accumulate as much as you can when the market goes down. But Hyperliquid and these other altcoins, these other meme coins, for example, I would have the same thing. Okay, if we start to get below these sort of levels here, then okay, well maybe we're targeting back towards here, and I'll just cut a little bit here, and I'll look to rebuy here. And I know, like for some people, that's not a lot. Like but 10%. Like if you've got say 20 grand on that, that's $2,000 that you could save by just like de-risking and then rebuying down here. So I actually put a tweet up about this last night about how many people. They hold the wrong trades, Craig. They don't take profit, which then limits their liquidity because then their liquidity is locked up in the wrong things. And that weakness continues to bleed out and never get back to the levels that they think it could go to. And then what the compounding effect of that is that by holding these weak positions, you then don't have liquidity to use when there's better opportunities or a new trend emerges, right? Because you're still holding that shit that hasn't been going up and will continue to go down. And 95, if not 99% of the time, these meme coins, these altcoins will never reach their previous all-time highs. Like it is a absolute fact that will occur. Okay, if you look right now, like what meme coins or what altcoins have even gone close, and it's like I think SPX is like literally like one of the only ones. Okay, SPX got up here. Hyperliquid obviously set a new all-time high. Even Solana, I would struggle to see. I'm struggling to see it. Like, does Solana get back to $300? I don't know. I genuinely don't know. Yeah. So even ETH, Craig, like I think in time, ETH probably gets to get maybe back up to these levels. But even ETH this cycle, I don't think ETH gets back to 4K. I don't know, unless we start to see really things shift around. So I do think that this could rally back towards 4,000. I don't know if it gets up towards $5,000. But it's the moral of the story is, don't get attached to your bags. Like if you're an ETH maxi from last cycle, Craig, you literally are still underwater. You are underwater literally from all the way from March 2022. Like this is all of the altcoin cycle here. You are still underwater with that trade. So it pays to take profit, particularly on the meme coin side. I know people that were up a lot of money on a lot of meme coins over on Abstract. and they've just watched their portfolios capitulate, absolutely capitulate. And I'm like, and then they sell now, and I'm like, I fucking told you guys, not financial advice, but
selling now is
said,
diabolical, man.
literally take profits when you're in the green. Okay, who cares? You're a trader. We're all here to make money. Who cares what happens? Okay, you are here to make money. Take profit when you're greedy, when you're euphoric, when the markets are green, when there's liquidity to sell is a big one as well. Don't dump when the rest of the market is dumping. That is literally the worst time to buy. So speaking of that, have you, what's your abstract play at the moment, Craig? Talk to me about that, because there's been a lot of FARD. I jumped on the spaces with Eli and Finn and Zaddy and a few others last week. Jonah was on there, plus the other few builders as well. So it was actually really good spaces to be on with a variety of opinions. I know OG was on there as well. So it was a good space. But what's your opinion on abstract right now?
Look, I'm mainly ignoring the FUD around, obviously there was that launch last week, that Memecoin, it kind of dipped and all that. So abstract's getting a bit of a hard time about that. But for me personally, I'm just, all I'm doing is doing my dailies, doing my on-chain heroes, upgrading them, and then slowly stacking Pingu, which I've got in my wallet there. And that's pretty much as far as my strat's going there. So basically just stock up on Pingu for the wallet, just to get tier 2. So this dip actually for me has been quite useful at this time. I wanted more Pingu. So yeah, within a couple of weeks of deciding that, it's gonna grant me what looks like a good 20% off. So that's been nice for me. But that's my strat there. I'm not getting into meme coins there yet, but I might start to if the market bottoms out. But to be perfectly honest, I'm quite happy not to be heavy in those sorts of things. Just looking at the market, I just don't trust the market as far as how hard it can dip from here, especially meme coins and altcoins. I'm just, because obviously, I've got the stables on the side, but that's profits I've taken from Bitcoin and everything else selling to the top, like Solana. So I'm quite careful. I don't want to give that back to the market, if that makes sense. So I'm not going to say load up 20 grand on Abster and let the market take 10 grand off me, man. Fuck that. I'm not.
That's the concern here. Like the downside, as you say, the downside's still 50 to 75%. If we do capitulate, right? Like I know the dip is nice. It's down what? It's down 30%, but it could still, as you say, like, and the NFT stats is a good man. He always says something can go down 90%, but then can still go down another 90%. So that's always the thing. And like, I agree here. I'm not confident. I still hold these 3 bags, Retspar, Adspar, Newt. I personally am not buying until I see more strength in majors and then memes, obviously, more specifically. Yeah,
I agree. Especially not till we see Bitcoin find a level here.
Yeah.
Because at the moment, for me, it's between fibs. So between's not real good, man, for me. I don't know. I've just been through this before, as have you.
Yeah.
Normally, the dip goes a little bit longer. So
yeah.
Unless we saw a really fast reversal or bounce. But I don't think we are. Like, it wasn't bad. Don't get me wrong. We wicked down to what, 98, 98.3, 98.4.
Yeah.
We're at 100 now. What's it going to need to get out over? About 101. Is that the level we need to get over?
Oh, look, I'd say higher personally. Like this is, hold on, where's my chart?
Well, 106, I think, was quite important.
Yeah, 106 is a massive level for me. Yeah. 106 is a massive
level. So there's quite a lot of work to do for Bitcoin from 100 to 106K.
Yeah.
I think that's going to be a bit of a battleground. And while that's happening, I'm not really prepared to be watching my alt and meme coin bags just get decimated.
Yeah.
I'll wait. I'd rather wait and wait for Bitcoin to find support and start to recover. But I also want to see a bit of strength come back into the market, to be honest. I want to see exchange volume go up. I want to see Bitcoin sort of, doesn't have to bounce hard, but just find a bottom. And at the moment, we saw that top there where it's rejected, once, twice, 111, then 110, several times. I mean, in fact, you and me called this last week prior to the war. So, you were looking, I think, on the monthly, the monthly, the weekly, might have been the 3 monthly, I can't remember, but all of those you were commenting saying it looks like They're
we're going to
overextended.
reject from here. Yeah.
And lo and behold, about 48 hours later after you said that, we had war, which we do have war. But for me, it looked like it was going to break. I mean, you and me have kind of been calling that for quite some time, dude. Like when I saw that second rejection, when we went 111 and then I saw it go to 1010, not hit the all-time high again, and then break down like that with those big wicks.
Yeah.
For me, that just said we're going down.
Yeah.
And then lo and behold, the news gave us the reason for it. But yeah, I'm not going to go into alts or memes yet. But in saying that, that's just my strategy. I'm being quite cautious with my money. I think there's definitely opportunities out there, and I wouldn't blame someone. I just feel, I just don't feel confident in them at all.
Yeah.
So I don't know if that's a consequence of this bull run, but I'm not really alts don't really grab me at the moment, apart from a couple like Hype, same as you. Hype, man,
Have
is
you
there much
bought Hype yet? Or what's your play?
Sorry?
Have you bought Hype yet, or what's your play?
Nah, I was looking at the chart though, and I needed a bit lower. I was looking yesterday.
It went to 31 the other day.
Yeah, I think that was a buy, wasn't it?
Yeah. Nice bounce off the 382, but
here we go. Sorry, I got it. I see what you're saying. 382. Yeah, that was the buy. About 31.
Mm-hmm.
I'm after about 27.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
again, between 23 and 27, I think this is generational opportunity here. I think that's a 2x back to the high. Like that's literally a 2x nearly back to the high. So
I don't know if we'll get it.
Yeah.
Because this chart looks quite strong. So this is for the viewers. We could bring up a weak looking chart, but for me, this is one where I actually don't mind this, dude.
Here's a weak chart.
Chart's good.
This is the weak chart for you.
Polygon heavy that looks, man. It looks so heavy.
It's making new lows. Whereas Hyperliquid very strong, very strong.
I was in Matic. I cut that about a year ago.
It outperformed in the bear cycle. Do you remember that? 2022.
Yeah, dude, it was good. I had a good run.
Yeah,
and I'm glad. And that's where TA comes in really handy, because you get to it gives you a real honest look at coins, because otherwise you're like, Matic did so well for me in 21. You get like everyone gets attachment to coins in some way or another if it made you some good money in the past.
Mm-hmm.
But looking at that chart, I'm glad I cut it, dude, because Jesus, my bags would be in ruins if I'd kept, I'd be down. I don't know what I'd be down, probably 90% on Matic.
Well, yeah, it's crazy. Really interesting too, Craig. Like, it's so funny. Like, people are, it's crazy. Like, the market nukes, like World War III rumors, blah, blah, blah. But the viewership goes down. I notice like a lot of people, like, they don't sign up to the new groups. Like people are like, I gotta leave. I'm like, it's probably the time to double down. Like, it's the time to spend time learning on and executing on your strategies, being patient, because a lot of these people who leave now when the market's red or when there's a bit of fear around, like, they'll come back when there's a lot of greed and euphoria around, and then they'll wonder, Greeny, like, how did you get such a good entry? I'm like, because I bought it during the dip, bro. Like,
because you're around in the bad times.
When you left, bro, is when I bought the dip, bro. Like, that's all the stuff, man. And it's just crazy, bro. But anyways, like, look, this was the Matic breakout, 20, this one here. Yeah, this big rally, it was like, 4x off the lows in the middle of the bear market. Everyone was like, what the hell? Like, this was like June 22 to the start of 2023.
That was crazy.
It was nuts. And like, everyone's like, oh yeah, shit, this is the future. Like, Matic, like, they're partnering with like Disney, blah, blah, blah. Like,
they had so many good announcements, and then
it just like lower highs over time. And this isn't even against BTC, man. So like, if you like, let's have a look at that. BTC, USDT versus Matic.
Yeah, this will probably be pretty bad.
USDT as well. Oh, it's the opposite. Yeah, look, it's literally okay. Hold on.
Yeah, I see.
That's
pretty alarming.
It looks better the other way. Right? This makes it look like Matic is outperforming. That's definitely not the case. So this is here we go. There. This is a classic example of what 99% of altcoins and meme coins will do over time, and this is against BTC, right? So this is what I mean. Like, people, like, take profits, please. Take profits. Great.
Yeah, I mean, imagine not taking profits when Bitcoin hit 111. This is the reason why, guys, right now. Because the thing in a bull run is, it's funny, everyone screams, like, when you take profits in a bull run, everyone tells you how stupid you are until moments like this happen. And then everyone goes, fuck, why didn't I take profits? Because you were greedy, man. because you wanted 115 or 117k and you weren't satisfied with your 6 or 8x from 16k. Like, it's like, how much? It's moments like that you've got to think. I think you got to look at yourself and be like, how much more did I really want and need? And how much has that now cost me wanting 5% more when I'm now done? So say you wanted 5% more on Bitcoin, but now you're down 15%.
Yeah.
It's like, so for that extra 5%, you've now sacrificed 15%.
Yeah.
It takes a little while to get to that mindset. It does. Well, it took me a little while. It took me about 3 years, but
yeah, like
I understand it now. Pain's a good teacher.
I mean, Gus is in my comments asking, like, okay, my biggest question is, how do we know when the bottom? Like, when is the bottom? Well, you don't. No one knows when the bottom is. However, we use simple TA to start to work out when a bottom can form, and so, or when a top forms. And like, we just literally, like Craig and I just literally spat exactly how we knew this could be a potential top. Okay, we had weekly closures below this key level. Okay, you have momentum indicators very overextended on high time frames. Okay, we had probably bearish divergences forming. I don't know. I can't remember. I think we did. Maybe we didn't. I can't remember. Was it the 3-day, 5-day, daily? I don't know. Maybe we didn't have any bearish. No, we didn't quite have bearish divergences forming. So that's another indicator that I like to use to see if there are bearish indicators. Because, I mean, like, if we just run it back to last cycle, just to show you, right, how accurate that can be. This is 2021, right? BTC. If I just get out of that and we go to high time frames, where are we? Yeah, so I think it might have been the weekly, surely. I can't remember, but there's definitely some bearish divergences forming. Yeah, here on the monthly. So this is why I always say use high time frame analysis as well, right? Like, okay, a few things. So we have bearish divergences where RSI or like MACD, all those are the kind of same sort of things. There's stochastic momentum. They're showing you, okay, well, this is a moving average of price based on this time frame. This is the monthly chart. So what you had here is price moving higher, but RSI going lower, thus giving us a very clear indication that if price can't continue up here and not close, and again, like same structure as last cycle, we failed to close above there, so we rejected from there. Like, very similar structure, right? And again, this is a range. You could say this is a range. Okay, we had multiple deviations below. Okay, we deviate, and then eventually we broke. Okay, so again, this is a very high time frame range, but that's a classic example of a range again. But what I'm showing here is bearish divergence. So there's that plus stochastic momentum. We were very overextended. Okay, even the start of that cycle, 2021. Look at that, March 2021. You probably could have taken profits here, and you would have been laughing. So, like, I know necessarily didn't time the top here at April 2021, but you managed to sell BTC at 64k because you're overextended on the high time frame. So again, we're oscillating down. We're now probably below the monthly pivot as well. Yeah, we're well below the monthly pivot now. So is this a top? I don't know. I don't think so. I personally don't think so. We had bearish divergence from that high to this high, but not the current high. So that's really interesting to see. But those are the sorts of things that I like to look for. Now, to answer your question, Gus, it's how do you know when a bottom forms? Well, let's go look at the bottom, okay? Okay, and I think actually, Craig, we spoke about this last week. So here we have BTC. All right, now we have a pretty clear level that we need to get back above. Okay, this is a high on low time frames down here. Okay, so this is our level, right? This is our little low time frame range. Okay, and what we have here is a high and we have the low. Okay, where we capitulated, we bounced from. Okay, we rejected from here. So that's pretty clear that this is a big level for BTC to come back. Now, is there any history back here? No, there's not. So it's just on the low time frames on this particular area. So this is 2022. Now, what I'm looking for here is a couple of things. We have a rounding bottom. That's the first sign of an indicator, or the first sign of structure of price showing us that we are bottoming out. Secondly, okay, we start to break even, as in price is just oscillating like this. Okay, that is showing you that, okay, well, it looks like we're about to put a bottom in as well. We had a deviation below this range. Okay, then we actually never came back to retest that, which is pretty nuts when you think about it. But what we have here is a clear shift in structure. Okay, so what we have now is we had lower lows, lower lows, lower lows, lower lows. Okay, so down like that. And then we had a higher low. So this is your first sign on high time frames, on low time frames, that we have, okay, prices come down here, and look at the strength and this is on a weekly chart, so it's not even that high, to be honest, but you had a lot of buying strength here. It is a higher low. Okay, that shows me now we've just had a higher high. This is our high compared to this high here. And now we've had a higher low. Okay, more than likely, this is probably a good bottom formation. Again, rounding bottom. We're oscillating sideways. that's 3 indications for me, at least, that we are seeing a bottom potentially form here. Is there bullish divergence? Not quite on those lows, not on the big low there. On this low, not quite. Again, this is on, again, you want to be on higher time frames if you're looking for those sort of bullish divergences down in the ultimate lows. But no, you don't. Sometimes you don't get them. Okay, but that's what I'm saying. There's different strategies that I like to use to sort of work out, okay, well, is the bottom in? And now that's on the weekly time frame. So what I then do on the daily is, okay, well, let's see what price is doing. Like, again, how much did it rally from this low to there? Okay, it literally came back only to the 0.5 fibs, so the golden pocket, and then we rallied from there back towards here. So there's a few different strategies you can use to identify when a bottom is occurring. Now, again, this is a full market cycle bottom. Now, how do we know where price is going to go right now? So where are we going? Where's my little, there it is. Okay, well, how do we know when the bottom's going to come in? Well, we don't. Okay, so we can start to take educated guesses on where we think price can come in. Okay, so like I've drawn before I even draw my fibs, okay, I've marked out the range. This high here, 110, remains a key level on the weekly, on the 3-day, Craig, on the 5-day, all those sorts of things. I've marked out a low time frame range. We got the highs here that we've rejected from. Got the mid range, and then we have the bottom of the range here. Now, really interestingly, Craig, which I was going to point out before when you were talking, we have actually reclaimed the bottom of this low time frame range on the daily chart. So that's really interesting, which actually on the weekly is also closing in 25 minutes, Craig. So this is really interesting for me that we might actually close at the support here. Does that necessarily mean we hold? Maybe not, but it's just interesting to see that we dumped to there and close back again. But what you do with these is you sort of learn to take entry levels, right? So it's like, okay, well, rather than aping into price at 110K, thinking, oh, yeah, it's going to rally to 130, 150, 200K, we want to be buying at support levels. And you use your Fibonacci to work that out. Now, again, same again. Like, when are we starting to see structure changes? Okay, well, we haven't seen a structure change. We've actually set a lower low, and we're still setting lower highs. So on low time frames, I don't think the bottom's in just yet. I would want to see sort of a price do this, okay, maybe a bounce high low there, okay, then we start to put a higher high here, and then I'll say, okay, well, maybe we're going to push back towards here. But if we reject again from here, I'll look for shorts back towards the mid-range. So like, it's hard to ever try and form a thesis around timing a top or timing a bottom, but a really good strategy that Craig and I have employed all cycle is if you are up a shit ton of money. I remember Mad Lads, Craig. I always go back to my Mad Lads trade. So the Solana NFT, I bought in at 80 Sol. It was like, I had like, I don't know, not much money at the time. I think I had made maybe $10,000, $15,000 at the time. This Mad Lad cost me about $3,000. So that was about, what, 20% of my portfolio. But I was like, you know what? This is the trend. Solana NFTs, Solana itself, token is going to go up. So if the NFT can outpace the token, and Solana goes up, I could make a lot of money from this trade. Fast forward, Mad Lads went absolutely nuts. They went up to 250 Solana. I got in at 80, so 3x in Solana. And then from there, the Solana went up like a 5x in price as well. So I made a squilly. I made like $50,000 from a $3,000 trade or something.
That is crazy, that trade of yours. That Mad Lads trade was fucking good, man. That was that was actually one of the first NFT runners this bull, I reckon.
Correct.
Your Mad Lads run. I missed that. I completely missed that. But I wasn't as tapped in as you with the Solana ecosystem then, especially with NFTs. They had a bit of a golden run for a bit, and I missed their little golden pocket. Great trade, bro. That's such a good trade.
But the thing was, I took profit when everyone was like, oh, these are going to 1,000 Sol.
Yeah.
Like
and that's the best time to take it, bro, when you get insulted by people or laughed at. Or what I like to feel when I sell is when I'm clicking sell, I like that feeling of that greedy feeling where I really don't want to click sell. And I know that for some people that must be confusing because a lot of people will only be used to selling when they feel that the market's dumping and they feel pressure. I like the feeling of when I'm selling, I like that part of my brain's going, but it's too soon. That's normally a pretty good indicator it's near a top for me. Like when I'm like, when I start telling myself what cars I'm going to buy because of it, or like stuff like that. That's normally when I'm like, well, bro, like, okay, if you're feeling euphoric, so are others, and you don't want to be the last person holding that bag.
Exactly.
So, yeah.
And so just to reiterate, okay, I had already made like 40 to 50,000 US dollars or something on this trade. I was like, okay, that is a shit ton of money. How much, like, my downside risk now is that we go back to where I bought and potentially Solana doesn't do as well. I was like, hold on, if I hold Solana, Solana here. Maybe Solana can actually still go higher, which it eventually did. I think Solana was about $100 around this price. So it went up and did a 3x still from there. And I took profit here, Craig, because the way I like to take profit, this is an NFT chart. And now I'm not saying NFT charts work. I'm just saying it does still show you when it is not a bad time to maybe consider taking some profit off the table. Yeah. So I got in here at this dip here at about 80 SOL. I then sold at 175 SOL here. And then sure enough, we capitulated to the downside here because momentum shifts, trend shifts, Craig. I took profit in Euphoria. I remember I saw Pio and Nick, who also got in around this time. They're like, oh, well, I've just round tripped my mad lad. I wish, I wish. And then the common thing is, I wish I sold it. And this was the first step in the cycle where because I was around like the 2 previous cycles and I messed up. I never took profit at the right time, but I learned. I spent 7 years learning to execute in the past 2 years, Greg. That's why I pinned that tweet to my profile because it's so accurate. And this was the first time this cycle that I was like, you know what? I've executed on what I have dreamt about doing for the past 7 years. And
it's a sweet moment, isn't it, when you nail one? It's so good.
When I did that, and then like literally a month or like a couple months later, it dumped back to like below my entry. I was like, okay, how good is this? And that's where I really got into meme coins, and that's where I took profit so aggressively on meme coins. That's where I took profit on all the ordinals, Craig. I didn't time the top of BTC puppets. I know you sold a lot higher than I did, but I got out at whatever it was. I got out at 0.24, I think. I was like a quarter of a Bitcoin. Like,
yeah, I know. Take us back to that, man. My God.
Exactly.
That was easy mode.
Like here, we got in GTG, we got in here at about 0.303, right?
Yeah.
And they ran up to 0.5. Like, it's just nuts. I sold in this pump here. I sold one at 0.1. I sold my second at 0.15. And then I sold my third at 0.23. And I was like, dude, I've just made 0.4 of a Bitcoin from 0.1. Like,
I know.
That is nuts. I was like, okay, I'm not going to time the top. There's nothing wrong with trying to time the top. If I'm up a shit ton of money, 0.4 BTC, I think BTC was what, like 60, 70K at that stage?
Yeah.
I was like, okay, shit, that's like $30,000. Walk away, bro. Walk away. So if you're up 6 figures on a trade, if you're up, I know Gus, I know he's in the comments, mate, if you're up $200,000 on Abster, like, take some off the table because now you're down like a 50,000 or something. I don't even know. I can't remember. I saw your screenshot the other day, but like, just scale some profit. The beauty of, say, meme coins compared to NFTs, Craig, is that you can take some off the table and not the whole position.
Yeah,
NFTs, you can, like with NFTs, you have to either go fully in or fully out. And that's the biggest lesson I've spoken to thousands of people. It's my job to help people understand risk, portfolio structure, when to shift trends. Okay, I've spoken to thousands of people over the past few years. And this is the one lesson I really try to hone in, okay, is exactly what I've just portrayed to everyone.
Spot on, Grady. Nah, couldn't have said it better. And it's, I guess, for everyone listening now that didn't do all those things, that didn't take profit, just bank the pain at the moment. Like, that's what I did. Just don't
write a journal.
Yeah, bro. Yeah, really important. Write it down. Put that, lock that pain away in a chest inside your heart, and next time it comes around, release that pain and you'll sell, because it's so important. Like you just said with that Mad Lads trade, how easy would that have been just to hold and end up back at your original price, man? It would have been so easy to do. Because, yeah, like Pio and all them would have been thinking this is going higher. And, you know, you get to say to people, oh, look how much I'm up now. And you don't get to say that once you sold. So it's kind of like a bragging thing.
Yeah. And like, trust me, like at that, I was like, oh, well, Mad Lads could go to 500 SOL, for example. The BTC, puppets could go to 0.5 BTC, which they did. They doubled from where I sold. But hey, like, again, it goes back to this strategy. It's like, well, I want to walk away from this space. I want to have a family. I want to buy my own house, not pay rent anymore. I want to not, like, I can hang this painting up on the wall and not be worried about whatever. Like, I want to, like, the goal is to accumulate wealth. And a lot of these memes, a lot of these alts, NFTs, they're trends. They're news-based. They're trends that'll last however long, okay? Something like Pepe's been around a few years, okay? Something like SPX been around a year and a half now, right? Something like Moondeg had a week in its light. Something like Peanut, great example. Had a week in the light where it just was everything. And then where the hell is it now? It's literally dead, right? So, and it will never come back. So these are the sorts of things that you need to understand. And I know, like, I'm not trying to throw shade at Gus at all. I was just using it as an example because he was in the chat asking a question. But he did say, all I'll say is my trading strategy is very different from yours. I don't necessarily agree specifically with that point. I'm going to say that your goal should be to accumulate wealth in a range of different ways. Trust me, I have held, like, I bought Solana at $17. I bought Radium at 20 cents. I held them for years. I held them for 2 years. And Craig and I, we literally talked about it every show. We said, Radium's at $1, Radium's at $3, Radium's at $5, Radium's at $8. Okay, we're going to take some profit off the table.
Bring that back, man. Fuck.
Exactly. Like, so you can't say that your trading strategy is different to mine. Like, I trust me, it's not. Like, I have trading strategies. It's just, I know from the absolute shit that can happen in crypto that sometimes you do need to just take a bit of profit off the table. Like, if you're holding on to a life-changing wealth and you're sitting there, like, whether you're at, like, you haven't sorted yourself out in other ways, you haven't got tax ready, you're living still in a shitty bed or like whatever it is, okay?
Yeah.
Take some off the table, man. Like, there's nothing wrong. Reward yourself. Like, Easy is a great example of this. One of the best traders on chain this cycle, by far. And he's already like, yep, I've accumulated enough Bitcoin now that I'm happy to hold. I went and bought my own Tesla. I went and bought a new dog. Okay. And he's structuring it right. And that's, again, he's a 3-cycle veteran. I don't know how many of the people in the chat are 3 cycles into crypto. It's pretty rare. I'm another 3-cycle veteran. And these are the things that you just learn. Like, that means I'm approaching a decade in the space, right? Like, I'm not early, but I was still very early comparatively to a lot of people, Craig. So I think it's just like, I know how much, like, I want apps to go high. And I do think that it could push, say, to like 50 million. I do. I just think you need to be smart about how you're going to execute. Like, when are you going to take profit? Like, what if you're not going to take profit when it's up to 20 million and you're using simple TA, right? Like this. Like, let me pull it up again, because I know Gus loves a bit of TA as well. But like, if you look here, like, if like structurally you're having high lows, high highs for a long time, and then I knew we were slowing down here. You should see myself. I sold a lot here. I'm not going to disclose how much, but I sold a lot of apps to here because I could see the steam slowing down. I saw majors starting to show weakness. Then we had the war troubles over the past couple of weeks, so it gave you an opportunity to probably de-risk / take some profit off the tables. Again, my entry was about 10 million, so I was still up about 70% here. And it allowed me to de-risk, take profits, and then wait for an opportunity to buy lower, because that's what price does. Like, that's what price does. So I'm not discounting a buy and hold approach. I think that's great. But learning to have some form of bullish and bearish takes on structure of price using TA is the most how can I say this, Craig? It is the most underused strategy in cryptocurrency. Everyone laughs at the TA bros. I don't get follows because I'm a TA guy. I promise I'm executing far higher than those people that don't use TA.
Yeah, everyone should use TA, man. I didn't first cycle my first bull run, and I paid the price for it. I've told the story a few times. I've got a friend of mine who was heavy into TA in the 21 bull run. I was not. I was a fundamentals guy. I was a plan B guy. I followed the dream, the Murad type guy. You know, he was the kind of the Murad, wasn't he, from 21? You know, believe. Well, it wasn't actually believe. It was database to a certain degree, but oh yeah, I got led to the slaughter, man. I got led to the fucking slaughter because I believed in him. And I remember my friend was saying, cycle looks like it's over, bro. Looks like it's done. I'd get out if I was you. And I think, what was Bitcoin? It was all-time high or close enough. And I said to him, nah, dude, I've got a plan. But all my plan was plan B's plan. So it wasn't really my plan. Probably the other problem, I was following someone else's thesis, but I was following it quite biblically. And I wasn't willing to pivot. And I remember that conversation so well. It was like late at night. And I still remember getting that message from him going, bro, like, I'm looking at the charts. Doesn't look great. I think you should scale out at least. And I was like, nah. And I was still all in. And I was like, nah, it's going higher. And I remember saying to him, I'm following my plan. Probably, I mean, good in a way to use words like that, but also quite stubborn. And the data said it was going down and the bull run was over. And I was just set in stone, right? It's concrete, fortitude saying. And I was wrong. And that's the moment. Well, not the moment I learned to trust or learn TA, but it was sort of in the bear market after that. I was like, I need an edge. I need an edge on these other guys. And TA might not work all the time, but man, what if it only works 5%?
Dude, I trust me, it works 95% of the time.
Yeah, I agree. In fact, it's quite humorous to me when people on the timeline call out TA, bro. It's like, to me, it's like, I can't even think what it's like. It's like someone saying the numerical system doesn't work.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, 1 + 1 = 2 actually kind of does work. Mm-hmm. But look, I mean, even on NFTs, bro, it works.
It does. I would say it doesn't work as consistently, but it does work. Yeah.
It does work, and I've used it. I remember when someone came in about 3 months ago to call me out for doing TA, and they're like, "Oh fuck, do you do TA now?" Because they must have known me from the 21 bull run. Mm-hmm. And they must have finally come back to the space. Funny how they came back only at the tippy top of the bull run this time as well, whereas I stuck around. And I was like, brother, I've been doing TA on NFT since 22, man. Like, I've been doing it. And I think doing TA on NFTs wasn't the worst thing in the world, because it actually made TA everywhere else a lot easier, because it works, it's cleaner.
I want to talk about that specifically, because there's a few comments in my chat too. I want to talk about that. So highly recommend this book. All right. It'll just enlighten you about how TA actually relates to mathematics and psychology, right? And why it actually consistently works. Now, as I've been saying in my abstract stream chat, I don't rely purely on TA. Just to really put it out there, I know I'm perceived as that TA guy, but trust me, I use analysis. I use trend-based understanding. I use TA. I use fundamentals. Well, what is happening in the news? I look at majors. I look at macro. I look at what the dollar is doing. And then I go, okay, well, if USD dominance is starting to show strength here, if BTC is rejected from 110, okay, your meme coins are going to go down. Like, that's just fundamentals. I'm not even looking at the TA. Then I go and look at TA and I go, okay, well, we have rejected 110. It's probably going to go down from here, right? So I am from the camp, and this book touches greatly about technical analysis and fundamental analysis. And I've said this all cycle, Craig. Like, Mando and OSF are some of the best fundamental analysis traders in crypto. They nailed the Bored Ape Yacht Club. They've nailed multiple other trades, right? They made 10 million on that, 9 million or something on that. So fundamental trading is a great skill. If that's the way you like to go about it, TradFi, one of my best mates, literally trades hundreds of millions of dollars a day for a hedge fund. He bases his trades more on fundamental analysis, doesn't even touch TA. So I respect the shit out of that. I just know, as a crypto trader, you should probably evaluate it all and use all of it to sort of compound your knowledge and execution, right? Now, I want to, because a lot of people here in the chat were like, on-chain analysis is better than TA. I'm like, I use both. Like, I'm not, why have the conversation of like, why separate it? Why not use both? Like, I've never said it's better than the other. I'm just saying I use all of it, right?
It's so good.
That's my main thing. It's like, so that's what I mean. And the question is, I know, Gus, I'm just replying to your comment. Mine is based on a thesis trading, though, not TA. And that's what we're just talking about. I buy when thesis looks good, and I sell when thesis plays out. What if your thesis never plays out? What if if that thesis does not play out? What happens then? Like, that's my question. Like, what's your invalidation? Like, do you have an invalidation, or like, how does that essentially work? So like, I'd love to hear that. Sorry, I'm just catching up on the chat now. Mm-hmm. So my thesis, Grit comes in and says, my thesis for abstract is abstract getting listed on CEX, so centralized exchanges. The ability to transfer funds. Well, what happens if it doesn't happen? I accidentally sent some ETH on abstract to my ETH on ETH wallet yesterday to my centralized exchange, and they're like, yeah, we can't get it for you. I was like, oh my God, lucky it wasn't a lot. It was only like $600, but I was like, fuck.
Still though, yeah.
So like, I was like, well, hopefully they do, but what happens if they don't?
Yeah. What
happens if they don't? So Gus says, I knew ABSA was losing strength. I thought it would hit sub 10 million, which it did. It could go there again. If ABSA doesn't play out, so be it. I didn't put in more than what I can afford to lose. And that's key. And that's a good, I agree. That's key. If you're happy to lose it, I just know that if you're up life-changing money, you should take some off the table. So he said, I've exited through LP a decent amount. Yeah, nice.
Yeah, that's good.
The show where you spoke about Pengu liquidity on Abstract had so many good points. Thank you. I mean, we've been doing this a long time. That's the whole point. On top of that, my biggest mistake this cycle hasn't been not taking profit. It has been taking profits before my thesis plays out. That is not a mistake.
That's good.
That is a good thing. That was my question. Yeah, it's what happens if your thesis doesn't play out? And he's like, no, I'm taking profits before that. Excellent. Excellent. Yeah. That is, trust me, that is the goal. That is the goal. No. Well, he says, yeah, when I should stick to my thesis and let it cook. But I go back to the same question again. Well, what happens if the thesis doesn't play out? That's the question. So most invalidations lead to position going to zero, and that's fine. Yeah, look, whatever. So yeah, I mean, like we've touched, this has been a great conversation today. I know there's not as many people in the chat today. I mean, Twitter's actually quite busy today, which is good. Sunday night, people do like the Sunday night show, Craig, because gets them ahead of the pack. But yeah, but Gus, okay, he said I made 5K in Toshi, should have been 50K. Lol, bro. No, you made profit. Walk away, be happy. Who cares? I'm like, walk away. Like, don't be emotional. For context, I always go back to this one, Craig. I bought WIF at 200K. Yeah. And because of my strategy, because of my processes, because I'm confident and comfortable in how I trade, I flipped it for a 2x at 400K. Do I care? It is not emotional. It is emotional. That is an emotion. Like, it should have been 50K. That's an emotional response. Just replying. But yeah. I could have bought that. And so if I buy and hold WIF, okay, in the one example, right, sure, I could have made millions, whatever it was. But if I buy and hold the other 99% of the meme coins or the altcoins or whatever that is, they all go to zero.
Yeah. And then that's all your money gone. You don't get to play on the WIF play because all your money's gone.
People really glorify, exactly, Craig. People glorify what the good ones were. What about the shit that went to zero? The 99% of you who clicked the buttons of the shit that did go to zero. Why don't you ever talk about that? Why do you always talk, oh, it could have been this? Yeah, but you also could have held this and you would have been zero. Like that. It's a big psychology. That's why I talk about trading psychology as well. Like that's honestly one of the, and it's all emotion. It's all emotion. It's human emotion. It is. And like, so trading psychology and emotion is a massive part. And again, we talk about this in GTG every single day. We're like, and guys are like, literally, I put a post out 2 days ago about a guy saying, guys, thank you so much. Like right now I would have normally be liquidated, but I'm actually making money because I'm making smarter decisions with the trades. And I'm like, that is the goal. That is the goal, that you learn to become a better trader. So yeah, I mean, quick shield, GTG 60% sale ends literally this week. So highly recommend getting it. Highly recommend getting it.
Probably a good time to get into a group of like-minded people in times like this. It's probably going to settle your nerves. And you can, the other thing is you can come in and ask questions, which is pretty useful. This time in the market, I know when it was my first bull run, you kind of feel like you're in a dark room with no torch. So I think being in a group environment with like-minded people is very useful for stress levels. And just sharpen your tools while the market's on its way down is probably the time to do it, because it's pretty hard to learn or sharpen your tools when it's on the way up.
Yeah.
The time to start learning new skills is probably now, because when it starts pumping again, it's so loud and, everyone's so euphoric in the timeline, so boisterous, it's hard to do it then. So probably now's the time to join, because you probably... I'm still thinking Q4.
I think Q4, Q1 potentially. If after training with Easy, I agree. Like if TradFi comes back, inflation goes down or it's steady and rates come down, which I mean, there's a lot of pressure there from Trump specifically. Then and global liquidity continues to increase. Then I think we could go pretty big in Q4, Q1 next year. So yeah.
So probably a good time to start opening the books again now, and probably a good time to invest in learning versus jumping on the timeline and getting caught up in the war chat and
in the shit that is crypto Twitter, mate.
Because this is the time when the markets are doing this. This is the time when people are just going to fight and be like, "I should have done this. You should have done that." And all that stuff. And the timeline at the moment is probably not the best as far as learning goes. So yeah, GTG 60% off, probably a good time to get in, guys. It's a good price. There's fucking good callers in there, man.
And literally the 60% one that's off is the lifetime deal. It's down to 3.
Oh, yeah, it's all right.
So like literally you can join at one-time fee. Exactly. Like I think the biggest misconception is like, oh, you run a pay group. I was like, yeah, but what you get is like such good suggestions, trade setups, market psychology from me from people who have been trading longer than me across markets in stocks, equities, like Forex, whatever. Like there's like Nadia, big shout out to her. She's been trading gold for bloody 15 years.
Yeah, that's
Aussie, been trading for 10 years.
That's so unusual for a female, eh?
I know, exactly. But this
trading gold for 15 years. Like,
but that's exactly right. Like we have the experience in the group is next to none. Like when you accumulate it all together, Craig, we've got decades of experience trading markets. So like that really helps. And then the supportive community bounces around, plus the streamlined content. So yeah, highly recommend checking out, guys.
I'm just checking a question by Rizuka, bumping this question on playing the rest of the cycle with someone who's profitable versus not profitable. Is there a difference?
I think what he means by that is if you're joining a group like GTG, right, where our goal is essentially, and we've executed in profit in like the last 2 years since we started. Why wouldn't you join something like that then still pay for a group that hasn't given you money, or be in a free Telegram that you know is just a shill fest of shit? Like, I think that's what he's saying, Craig.
Oh, I see. He goes on. Oh, this is actually prior. I think it's also time in the market. Is this a difference? Oh, Rizuki, you're killing me with the way you're writing this. Is this a difference in plays with someone who's already profitable this cycle and one that isn't? Is there a difference in plays?
Oh, right now? No, I don't think so. What's your answer to that?
I think the biggest difference between a successful trader and non-successful trader at the moment is timing your entry and exit, not even necessarily the quality of the play. Like, I don't think, in other words, I guess what I'm saying is I think a good trader could make money in just about all of the altcoins. Even the ones that have gone down, you probably could have found a moment in time where it would bounce. But I think entries and exits probably determine the successful trader versus what they particularly are trading. Although I think it's still important what you're trading. I think it's more important timing, though.
I'm going to answer that and say, if you, like, some people have made money this cycle. Like we spoke to Easy last week, who have made life-changing money and has already gotten to areas where he's happy, but he just does it for the love of the game. That's why he's still here, right?
Yeah.
If you are someone who has, like, I was in a really good position, then I got scammed. So I'm already back trying to make more money again, right? Not that I was in life-changing money that I could retire from, but I'm same thesis as Easy. I will always do this just because I fucking love it.
Yeah, me too.
But I think where Rizuka is coming from is the point that if you're new or if you haven't made money this cycle, like, what should you be doing? And it's the same as Craig said, like, still stick to your processes, right? Like, still stick to really good entries and take aggressive profits. If anything, take more aggressive profits now, because we're nearing the end of the cycle. Like, 100%. Like I said last week on the show, Craig, like, if this was the middle of last year and we were crabbing sideways, which we did for 6 or 7 months, I was very confident we were going to go higher.
Same.
So I literally was like, yeah, buy and hold. I held hundreds of thousands of dollars of Solana because I was that confident, right?
Yeah.
Then we started to top this year. Trump launched a meme coin. That really changed my thesis. And that's why I've been very heavily more stables more recently. And then until we get a dip like we've seen the last week or so, I haven't been that keen to deploy. I've been trading aggressively and cutting weakness. Like, I've lost money on trades. Like, no trader wins 100% of the time. But if I didn't cut those weak trades, I would have lost way more money. And that's the key too. So shout out to Abs. I met Abs in Melbourne at the Pudgy Penguin event. But yeah, he's been in GTG. Literally, I think he was like the 3rd person who joined way back in 2023. So
really?
Yeah.
Good man.
Yeah, so him and a couple other Aussie boys were like the first couple to jump in. So massive shout out to Abs. He's a good follow. He's a good follow, guys. Go follow him on Twitter as well. But yeah, there's a GTG member from day one. So, hearing it from within. But yeah, hopefully the GTG website's up and ready to go. We're just fine-tuning that in the coming days as well. So, but yeah, Craig, man, that's been a good conversation today.
It is. I think that's a banger stream. I mean, it's not like we're saying buy this, buy that, buy that. But I think there's a fair bit of wisdom in there, if I don't say so myself, Greg.
You're a wise man. You're the
it comes with time in the saddle, doesn't it, dude? Like, I can tell with you. You can tell traders that are on their 2nd or 3rd cycle, man.
Yeah.
They stick out so easily to me now.
Yeah.
Especially on the timeline. Like, a 3rd cycle trader on the timeline now will be showing no panic.
No, exactly.
No panic, because things are gravy, bro. We're at war apparently dropping bombs or nuclear bombs, and Bitcoin's at $100,000, guys. That's pretty tough. That's pretty strong. I mean, it had a bit of a dip. Yeah, we dipped 10%, but shit, dude, we just had bombs dropped. So I don't know. I'm comfy. You're probably feeling even comfier. I think as long as you're trading Bitcoin as your main staple, I think you're going to be okay emotionally. Doge is another shout, actually. I was looking at Doge.
Yeah, I like that chart.
And I hadn't looked at it for a while, so that's probably a shout for everyone. Check the Doge chart. It's not terrible, eh? It's actually all right. So,
I think if you're happy to sit through a bit more pain,
yeah,
I think like I just took a long on it, which I'm happy to low leverage and sit in weeks. Again, I'm happy to sit in this trade for weeks. I'm happy to sit in this trade till August if I need to.
Yeah. I like it. I'm waiting to get in. I'm going to buy some spot soon.
Yeah, I don't mind this area at all. We could come low again. We could tag 12 cents, but I really don't mind this 886 retest at 14 cents already. But
me too. So look, there are opportunities out there, and this is another reason why TA is so good, because you can kind of go through like you've done here. You've made your list in TradingView. Shout out to TradingView, and you just go through and you look through it like a menu, like every day, don't you? You don't have to do it every day. You could do it weekly or monthly, but you flick through your charts, and quite often I'm like you. I've already got them drawn up. So I'll go and check the progression and then go back. And it's awesome, dude, because you're flicking through and you're like, oh, that looks delicious. Like, that was me yesterday. I hadn't looked in Doge in ages. And I looked at it yesterday and I was like, oh, okay.
Like, I had a limit order hit overnight and I'm already in profit on FWOG. Like, I'm up 11% on this because I just set a limit order at the 886 and it hit overnight. So, and people say TA doesn't work. What?
Helps.
That's all I say to you. Like,
I mean, put it this way, bro. If, say, okay, you've got a TA guy versus a fundamentals guy, and you're at a trading comp, you versus that person, I reckon you're going to annihilate them. It'll actually be a massacre.
It'd be interesting. It would be very interesting. They might be, that's the thing. They might get lucky on one particular trade, whatever.
You have to do it over a certain amount of time with a certain amount of trades as well.
Correct.
Maybe 10 trades over half a year. But
Craig, I actually, like, speaking of that, I went against Moose literally 2 weeks ago for BTCC, which is like one of the oldest exchanges in crypto. I went and I had a comp with him over the past week. He's a legend. And so he's a fundamental trader. He just buys and holds and whatnot. And I flogged him. I flogged him, Craig, but thousands of dollars. So
it's because a TA trader, I think the entries and exits are optimal. So over time, I just think you'll earn more than someone who doesn't use it. You'll get better entries. Might only be 5%, but fuck, 5% is a lot over.
Oh, you have 10x leverage. That's 50%.
Yeah, it adds up, man. So I know personally myself using it this bull run has been, and that's the reason why I've nailed Bitcoin is TA. And then add in all the other things you spoke about, Greeny. There's just so much else to it. You're looking at you're looking at, exchange volume, Google searches even I use. Like, I'll check that out.
Fear and greed index.
Yeah, fear and greed. So
macros.
It's not like being a TA guy. I'm like, TA's
everything. TA should be my middle name.
No, but it's one of 10 things I'll use to form an opinion on something based on data rather than I like this coin. It's great. Well said. I mean, that's it. I want to talk briefly about InfoFi. We have cookie.fun, Craig. Now, have you been on there and looking at that specifically or not? A little bit, not a lot.
So I'm in the camp that a lot of these are really the best opportunities. Now, again, a member in GTG was like, well, why should I do this? And I was like, to be honest, bro, like if you're looking to grow a brand, if you're looking to grab some attention on Twitter, you might as well look at opportunities to make money at the same time, right? And so it's a collaborative effect. So the three main ones, you could throw wall chain in there as well. I'm not exactly sure how that one's working. That's actually more exclusive. It's actually I only got 3 invites for wall chain. So I sent one to like Kix and I can't remember who the other person was. Maybe I sent one to you actually. I can't remember. But that's quite an exclusive opportunity is wall chain. That's the Quacks one. This is cookie.fun, which I do have some more invites. So if you guys send me a message in the chat or whatever, if you haven't got on there, I'll send you an invite right now. But this one, you earn snaps on this platform. So it's Yaps, obviously, on Kato and whatnot. But the Spark Snaps campaign literally ends tomorrow. I think that's going to be a cook. They have they have Open Ledger, which is also on Kato. And then they also have Join Sapien, which is like a AI sort of learning platform as well. But I think even if you tick off a bit of this, could be like, I'm not ranked very high. I only have 5 snaps for this one. I think this could still pay me out $1,000. I don't even know. Like, that's the thing. Like, there's an easy way to earn some money in a time where the market's red too. So InfoFi is not going away. And I do think that, like, I mean, we saw the Zeet thing over the weekend. We didn't even talk about that, Craig. Let's talk about that. I was busy all morning. I was out with my mates, sort of going for a walk and whatnot. He's a real estate agent, so I was jumping in and following him around. And I saw the timeline is blowing up. I was like, oh shit. I was like, I'm out. So I got home straight away. I said to my wife, I don't care. I need to sit on this computer for about an hour and just click some buttons. Okay.
Yeah.
So I had to play catch up. But there's a lot of opportunities, I think, in this market right now. Grindcoin, which is dropping on Abstract, has been delayed to the 30th of June. I think that's a smart decision by Pons as well. But this is what the Cookie.Fun platform looks like. I think I'm actually top 5 on Sapiens leaderboard. Tweeted a couple times about it as well. Yeah, there I am. I'm 5th or 4th now. Third. No, I'm 3rd. There you go. Overall 3rd. Yeah. So I do think that there's things like this, like you get 0.5 supply of the token. I think that's going to be huge. Like, if you're in the top like 100 of this, I think you're going to cook. So like that's what I mean. I think there's new opportunities. This are 350K rewards. And then obviously Kato is the other one that's been going for a while. I think just earning Yaps. Whale.swish put out a really good tweet recently saying the Kato token and the NFT, probably not a bad area. I actually said, hey, Whale, which do you think is a better play? And he's like, I actually don't know. And I was like, okay, good to know. I generally think, I don't know what the NFT is worth right now, but I generally think staking some Kato.
Yeah, same. I'm thinking about it too.
Yeah, staking some Kato and also buying the NFT. I don't know what they're at. Let me have a look. They changed to that shitty. I'm not a fan of the art at all. Look, I'm not trying to be rude, but God, it's god awful. I don't know.
Capybara, have you said that?
It's that. I don't even know. Is it I can't remember what the animal is.
Why did they change it to that?
I don't know. Hold on. Let me find it. What is it? I don't know what the animal is, chat. Like, look at this. Like, I don't know. So 1.4, that's come down a lot.
Yeah, that has come down a lot. Look at that gorgeous artwork.
Dude, this is clean, bro, clean. So, I mean, if you have a look here, look, these are, Craig, I'm giving away free alpha on publicly. I need to stop this. Yeah. I think this is probably worth a buy here personally. And I also think the token and staking some, Craig, is going to reward you well moving forward. I do think, and then just continuing to yap. So, I don't know. Have you still been yapping? Have you been earning yaps? Mine is periodic. Mine's very periodic. So I'm top 500 today. Actually, there you go. Which is, I don't even know. I haven't even had that many posts, to be honest. So I still think, like, over the last 6 months, so since we started this year, I got in December, I think, Craig. I think we got in. So I'm 447. So I have been moving up the platform. I was about 600 and now I'm 447. So
yeah, right.
1,800 yaps. So I do think earning yaps is going to be a long-term exposure in a range of different ways. I mean, Craig, more recently, we got, like, I got $4,000 of DeFi app. You got $2,000 of DeFi app. I know Alyssa got $6,000 of DeFi app just by tweeting about it. It's nuts, man. So I do think that's a good one. The other one I want to talk about, Craig, is Ethos. I created a profile finally. I've been fading it for so long, and then I saw a few people, like, obviously Abstract wants to implement it. I know Pons wants to implement it with Zeet. So I was like, okay, if people are starting to add this to it, I better get on this because I don't want to miss an obvious sort of thing. So I'll go review some people as well. I'll get to that hopefully today or this week. But I think this is a really good opportunity too. And this is a good one. Like, I know this touches again on the topic of what's it called, Craig? The one that you were on, where it's 3 for 3. What's it called?
Oh, Frentech.
Yeah, Frentech. So it does touch on that topic of manipulation in a way. You vet me, I vet you. But I do think over time this will stand true. So I mean, if you are on Ethos, guys, I'll hopefully get back to you guys soon and give you a bit of a follow or a review and whatnot.
I've got to go and do that as well. Shout out to Bertok, who reviewed me about half a year ago, and I have not back and reviewed him.
Dude, Bertok got me in there in the too, so legend. So yeah, big shout out to him.
In fact, I've reviewed no one on there, so sorry.
No, well, I reviewed GTG. That was it.
Did you? Yeah. So I'll go today, guys, and I'll review everyone. Greeny, I'll review you. I'll review everyone else who's reviewed me. Obviously, if you were nice to me, I'll be nice to you. Shout out to Eli, gave me a nice review.
Yeah, Eli gave me a little 0.01 ETH. So
gave me a vouch, which was pretty cool.
So but I don't know specifically how it works. So I need to. How many people? How do I invite people? Do I not?
I don't think you can. I don't get it, but I can't invite anyone. So I don't know if you've got to get your score higher before you get invites, or I'm retarded and couldn't find the invite.
Oh, maybe it's not because I'm logged in. So I'll have to have a look. Yeah. But yeah. So I think where do you go from neutral to? Is it 1500? Maybe is when you're not neutral. I can't remember the word.
Yeah, it takes a little while to get up.
Yeah, so even Eli's at 1420 and he's neutral as well still.
Yeah.
But I do think this is Ethos will have an airdrop too, is the other thing, plus the credibility side of it, plus the collabs now with Zeet and with what do you call it?
Abstract?
Yeah, with Abstract, yes. Again, like don't fade an obvious sort of play, right? Oh my God, I did this all on my laptop. I'm going to have to find my Zeet stuff. How did you go with the Zeet stuff, Craig?
I ended up with about 100K.
Nice.
So not a shitload, but unfortunately, same as you, I had about an hour and then I went to the movies.
Yeah.
And obviously, when people boosted you, you had to, I think you actually had to accept the boost.
Yeah.
As well. So you had to be quite active. You couldn't just, in other words, you couldn't just shell a link and go away and let everyone else boost you. You had to kind of be there to accept the boost. So
yeah.
No, but don't get me wrong, 100,000, I was stoked. Like, I don't know what I'll get for it, but
yeah,
I don't know.
What
did you ended up with a lot more than me, I think.
118. Yeah, I went to town on my post. I click buttons for an hour here. So 66K views.
Fuck, that's good.
Because I literally, and I was farming the follow too. I was like, bro, click follow back. Come on, man. Don't boost me and then not follow me back. So I was like, I was being a bit of a dickhead, but it was just having a bit of fun. This guy didn't even click follow back. Dirty dog.
Yeah. Happens, mate.
Yeah, so, I mean, I think Faded got about 200K. I saw a couple of people get about 400, 300K. So, I mean, I think if you're close to 100K, I think you're pretty sorted. So,
what's the sub-TO? What's the alpha on this, do you think, Greeny?
Just don't fade Pons.
Yeah, same.
And I think he's smart, right? Like, he literally put out a really good post about two things. The two critiques that he got was the one that the time that it was dropped. So, Europe people missed out. But he and his response to that was the goal was always to have it for multiple days. He didn't realize how viral and quick this was going to go crazy. And so I think it was live for like 7, 8, 9 hours or something. And then the other criticism that he received was that how is this different to Laudio? And he's like, no, well that's the whole point. Phase 1 was just purely what was the reach? Like what? I can't remember. Sorry.
Mindshare?
Yeah, mindshare. I can't remember the word he used. Not accumulate. Was it accumulate? I can't remember. I'll try and find the post. But So I think, but I think it was a really good opportunity for people to just get in around this too. What the hell is it? Yeah, points. This is what I mean. It's bloody mathematic, mate.
Jesus.
Points from referrals and boosts equals Zeets. Okay, there you go. So yeah, grinds. We spoke about that before. Yeah, here we. Wait, no, that's the Europe thing. Did he acquire quality boost? No. Let me try and find this tweet. Woke up this morning. Yeah, here we go. Criticism 2. The point you see below, Captain, about farming. Yeah, so So basically that was a Europe one. He's like, yeah, we got 50K users. I could have kept it open and really done the Laudio side where people just muted it, hated it, blah. But he decided, no, let's close it and enjoy the success of the whole point is that it's signal over noise was the whole point of the thing. Awareness, that's the word I was looking for. So it was about creating awareness first. So I think Laudio Portal was another one, Craig, that we've had previously over the past couple of years, right? And he wanted to make sure that we weren't going to reach those sort of levels. And it was around, okay, well, let's get to awareness and let's create enough awareness and then close it off. Okay, you can still sign up. Literally sign up on whoever's link and you earn a Zeet or I earn a Zeet. I don't even know how it works. And then let's see what comes next. Let's really see what comes next. I think it's just a no-brainer to really not fade this, Craig. Like, if the whole timeline, if you're early, if the whole timeline's talking about it and you've got big people and Pons is a reputable guy, leader of the plague, like, why not why not sort of look at that as an opportunity in my eyes?
Yeah, and especially like you said, with this stage of the bull run, with Bitcoin dipping, everything kind of dipping, it's a good. It's just you got to look for opportunities like this where you can make a little earn while the markets are down.
Yeah.
So personally, this time in the market, any of these that get thrown around, I'll do now because there's not a lot of excitement, and it's these sorts of times where any sort of win, personally for me, I'll take. So while I'm sort of babysitting or nursing my spot bags, I will go balls deep and all this sort of stuff, man, because it's a bull run. Like shit gets stupid evaluation. So if there ends up being a claim or an airdrop during the bull run, it could end up being quite stupidly lucrative.
Exactly.
So yeah, I like this sort of stuff. And like we just said, while the markets are choppy or, everything's getting smashed down and the news is all bearish, it's a distraction, which is nice as well.
Yeah.
Stops you looking at the charts, guys, which I'd recommend you don't look at all day.
Yeah, just set and I said this last week, set an alert. Go to TradingView, set an alert. Or go to your exchange, set an alert and say, hey, if price reaches this, epic.
It's not a good time to be looking. Like if you're waking up at 3 a.m. and checking charts and stuff, being worried, like be careful with your mental health.
Yeah.
It can get a bit rocky. But certainly I'm keen on all the Ponzi's, Greeny.
Yeah, mate, you got to take advantage of those when the market's not as hot elsewhere on the risk curve, right? That's the key. Huge show. Lots of alpha there. I mean, that we should spin that up. I was talking to my mate, actually, last topic. I was talking to my mate about this yesterday, about how content is changing. And we spoke about this with Eli last week as well. A lot of people still value videos over shorts, but I'm seeing a big shift into shorts being more valued than a 10, 20-minute video, right?
Yeah.
Do you think creating shorts every day on YouTube is worthwhile in the long run? Now, from a financial point of view, the time it takes me to do it, probably not. I get 1,000 views on a video and I don't know if that click-through rate to anything really converts. That's the main question that you'd want to be asking. Secondly, I think I earned like 20 cents from that. So it's like, I worked it out. I was like, okay, I'm paying a subscription for this AI thing to edit it for me. And if I average this view count on videos posted as shorts every day on YouTube, I actually lose money based on the ad revenue from YouTube by only doing shorts. That's why I will continue to do video tutorials. But what's your thoughts on that? Is it like any exposure is good exposure? Like what are your, I'd love to hear your sort of POV.
With YouTube shorts in particular? With shorts?
Yeah, or translating it, or what do you think's better? Stream clips that are applied to, say, Twitter, to YouTube, to TikTok, to Instagram. Those two are a little bit different, I'm going to say. Or a strategic short where it's very clickbait. I don't struggle. I just hate doing a 1-minute video short to create, say, for TikTok. I hate doing that. It's just shit because it's like, oh yeah, $10,000. Oh yeah, click this button. Oh yeah, like it's just like fake. I kind of find it fake in a way, but it's unfortunately
very infomercially.
It's the model. Like I don't know.
I think it's worth not like it is worth doing to get followers. Those videos. I still post the shorts daily on YouTube. Well, maybe not daily, but close to every second day, probably. Mainly to get followers, man. It's the only way I can get followers on YouTube.
Yeah, look. So 500 views on my second last short, Craig. 4 cents earned. No followers, no subscribers.
4 cents.
4 cents, baby. Let me scroll back a little bit. So say this one here, 1,300 views, 1 subscriber, 12 cents.
Yeah, I know. It's diabolical, YouTube's fucking hard going, man.
YouTube sucks.
So hard.
Is 2 cents? No subscribers on that one. It's not like these are bad shorts either. Like that's the thing.
YouTube is really tough, man.
And I'll show you this one. This is an example of me farming a short, right? How to find early meme coins before everyone else. 173,000 views, right? $22. That's nuts. 173,000 views, Craig, and I earned $22. However, it's giving me 1.5K subscribers. So
that's the good bit.
Yeah. I know that's a bit of behind the scenes, guys, of being a creator. It's challenging. A lot of people always say, "Oh, then Greeny, why do you charge like X amount for a video if you want it to be sponsored?" It's like because I don't get ad revenue from it. Like it's as simple as that. It's like well, you're paying for my time, you're paying for my reach, you're paying for my brand of authenticity. That costs.
And also, they're paying for years of work.
Years of
work for free. For 7 years you work for free. So,
Yeah.
you basically got a PhD in the market now. So at some point you've got to get paid, man.
That's a good bio, PhD in crypto.
Yeah. Take that, steal that, guys. But no, man. Once you've done the hard work, fucking you should get paid. Anyone should who's dedicated, 5, 6, 7 years of their life to one particular skill. That's outrageous. So pay up, man. Pay up, sponsors.
Pay up. Yeah, I love it.
We're waiting. Google, we're waiting. Pudgies, we're waiting. Sponsorship by Pudgies would be cool.
Yeah, I love it. I mean, Craig, that's been a banging show. Anything else we want to talk about today?
Not really, bro. I've got nothing to say until the market goes a little bit lower. So actually, we had the close. We did have the daily close. Oh, you said the weekly. We did have the weekly.
Yeah.
We're still breaking down lower. Beautiful. No, not much, man. I'm, like we said at the start of the stream, if you didn't catch the whole stream, go to the start and we sort of speak more about levels there. I'm going to keep buying Bitcoin. As it breaks below 100K, I'll keep DCAing. And it's kind of teasing though, isn't it? I need it to break below that 100, bro.
Yeah.
It's like, just fucking break. Give up, Bitcoin. Give up. Stop fighting.
Yeah.
It's over.
Yeah.
Give me my 93K.
Yeah.
Will we get it? Don't know. Don't care. Would like to, but also I'm happy just to go up from here, man. Fuck it.
Yeah.
Either way. But that's kind of the good position to be in, isn't it? Just don't care.
Yeah.
Go up, happy, I'll sell. Go down, I'll buy. So patience, guys. That's probably the takeaway today is patience. Know your levels, make a plan, and then execute, and then win.
Yeah, well said. I think that's a great way to leave
that tack.
And I mean, yeah, huge show. I think there'll be some good clips coming out of this one. I need to go do some clips today. I mean, to clip out the chat with like Easy as well and whatnot, but it's been so busy.
What's that about Easy?
No, I need to clip. I haven't clipped any of those chats that we've had previously.
Oh, I did a few of them. Yeah, Easy's chat was good actually. If you haven't watched that, guys, jump on our YouTubes and go to the live tab, and we've got all of them. There's all the interviews. There's fucking tons. There's some good ones, man.
Yeah. Easy
and Pio, shout out to those two. Give those two a listen. Great chats just about markets in general.
Yeah.
I think is a good and those videos there, they're applicable no matter, I think, what stage of trading you're in, and also applicable no matter when you watch it, because we don't speak about anything specifically. Like there's nothing there. I don't think anything's particularly time sensitive in those videos.
No. Exactly.
So
yeah.
We're really fortunate to have got those guys on. I'm stoked. That was good info and great as a resource just to direct people there.
100%. Yeah, it'd be good. I think we'll definitely be adding more people to live streams again. We'll just see. I know Marianne's pretty clean from Abstract, so we'll get her on in the future. I think there was someone else I can't remember. Oh yeah, PP as well from Pudgy Pack. I think that would be actually a good chat.
PP would be good.
Yeah. So there's a few people that have reached out and are keen to sort of discuss.
Yeah. We'd love to get Clemente on for a bit of a laugh. I think that stream would just be a fucking absolute.
Yeah, it'd be hilarious, wouldn't it?
Yeah, be quite funny. So I might have to reach out to the big fella and see if we can get him on.
Yeah, agreed. All right, well, that was a huge show, guys. As always, thanks for tuning in. Be sure to like, be sure to subscribe, be sure to go check out our GC crypto page as well. We've started that up. That's where all the streams will be. Again, if you're more of a Twitter fiend, you can go watch back the streams there as well. They're all recorded and live, and replays are on their Twitter page under GC Crypto TV. Craig, lovely Monday here. Hope you have a lovely day. Let's see how the market holds up over the next sort of couple of days, because again, the war's not finished, so it's not like we're going to.
It's never finished, though, is it? It's never finished.
Exactly. No,
there's more freedom to bring to other countries, Greenie. There's plenty of more freedom to ram down people's throats. But yeah, I am looking forward. Look, I'm just glad this dip's happening now, bro. I got annoying waiting for it. Yeah. I think it was teasing for so long. Yeah. Thank fuck. I feel like this is the moment we needed to move forward and move up again. So I think this dip, as much as people are unliking it, I think this was necessary for higher. It's actually really, really good, bro. This is much better than just sending up.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think this is healthy. And we said this, Craig. We said you can't move from 74K to 111K and not expect a retrace. Like that's a $1 trillion move or something. Like it's crazy. Like people don't understand that. It's like $1 trillion. Like that's so much money. Like think about that.
It was much needed. So no, I'm as bullish now as I was. In fact, I'm probably more now that I've seen this breakdown and not actually eat shit too bad, I'm pretty bullish, bro.
Mm-hmm.
I think we're going to have a great rest of this bull run, everyone. So just stay calm.
Mm-hmm. Agreed. Well said. All right, chat. Thanks for tuning in. Appreciate you all. Thanks for all the tips as always. If there were some, I'm not sure. I haven't checked. Thanks, guys. And yeah, we'll see you all again tomorrow, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 9 a.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time. If you're watching, we do the show Sunday to Thursday in America, and obviously Monday to Friday here in Australia. Craig, have a lovely Monday, mate, and I'll see you tomorrow.
Thanks, everyone. Thanks, Greenie. Have a great day. Ciao.
Cheers, guys. Thanks for watching.